mortals, how are you doing today? So today I have actually some fun things going on today, and by fun things I mean I'm going to be talking about something fresh and new, which honestly every single podcast is supposed to be anyways, though of course that doesn't always happen. But before I get started, at the time I'm recording this, it is actually my b-day, so heyo, happy birthday to me. I've done absolutely nothing for it, because I'm lazy fuck and I like staying in. But that being said, today, based off the title, you could probably tell, we're going to be talking about Mecha Break, because I actually played a little bit of the alpha testing. I might try to play more, honestly. It's a really fun game. And honestly, I want to talk about it because it's a really fun game, and it's really nice to have a fun PvP game that is also mech related. Like, I like me some mechs. I mean, heck, I'm doing a mecha TRPG after all. I'm doing this is the second campaign we've done with it, so yeah. But with that, I think we'll get started with talking about the custom characters. Because, believe it or not, despite this game being a hero-based PvP, there's actually custom characters. And by that, I mean your pilot. You get to customize your pilot. And the customization for the pilot is honestly way better than it has any goddamn right to be. Like, seriously, it is too good. It is too good for how little you get to see of your pilot throughout the entire gameplay. Like, you get to see them whenever you decide to go to your pilot settings. You get to see them on your pilot card, and you get to see them before you go into battle and when you get KO'd. Oh, I hope they're okay. That was an emergency vehicle. Don't know if that picked up or not. Probably did. Yeah, the custom characterization, the character customization, I said that wrong, is so good. So good. And, honestly, I was actually really excited to go into it because of how much there is to do. Granted, when I fuck with characters, I tend not to do too much because I'm really bad at properly visualizing how proportions, look overall. I don't realize how fucked up I made a character until like 3 hours after I finish. I'm like, oh man. But at least for the beta, it seems you can just go back in and just start fixing up your character for the most part. I don't know if that'll be in the final release, but yeah, it's in the beta, and I like that. Hopefully they keep that in, where you can just readjust your character whenever you feel like it. I'll say I'm hoping they allow you to have multiple saves for pilots, so that you can customize multiple. They allow you to buy pre-built or pre-made pilots who have even their own outfits and whatnot. I also think they might have unique hairstyles, but I'm not actually sure. Haven't been paying attention to that, honestly. But honestly, the pilot customization is really good. And on top of that, how you can change the colors of the mech is actually really fucking good. You can't change how the mech looks itself, but you can change practically, well, not even practically, you can change every single color of the mech. And of each section, there are multiple sections within that, and then of a lot of those sections within, there are sections within that where you can change it. There is so much color customization for this game. The creativity you can do if you like customization is really good, and I can't wait to see how that evolves throughout the years for Mecha Break, because even for what it is right now, ooh, it's so good. Hopefully at some point we'll be able to have like unique weapons and maybe unique helmets or headpieces and whatnot, because I imagine you can't change too much with the mechs themselves, because I would fuck with the silhouettes a lot, even more so than like Overwatch, honestly. But honestly, for what it is right now, if it doesn't change from what it is right now, I am more than satisfied. What I want more Absolutely. Am I okay with what I have? Yeah. Also, one moment. Sorry about that. Hopefully that's not too jarring to edit out the skip, but my body decided, nope, now's the time, and I had to go use the restroom, which sucks because I barely started recording. You couldn't have told me this sooner. But yeah, no, the character customization in Mecha Breaker, absolutely fantastic. Can't wait to see where it goes, but wouldn't complain if it never went anywhere. That being said, let's go ahead and move on to the next section, which is obviously the mechs themselves. Which, whoo, baby. It is. It's hard for me to comprehend how to describe the mechs, because they're not so much unique as in they're in a place that I really, really, really enjoy. And I hope it sticks around that way. Also, there might be clicking picking up in the background. That's because I'm trying to look at all the mechs from their website, and instead of just having like a list or just like a section where you can just look at all of them, it's this goddamn fucking auto rotating scroll bar, and it's not even like good pictures of them. It's like really like action-y poses of all the mechs, and they're not even in like a significant order either. It's just kind of whatever they decided. But starting off with the Stego. Honestly, the Stego looks fucking fantastic. He's so goddamn bulky. He got so much chunk and armor to him. And his abilities are honestly really, 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 really cool and neat. I don't think I'd want to play Stego myself. I'll eventually try him at some point. I mean, I've tried all these guys in like in a training mode, but specifically in actual PvP gameplay, I'm not sure I'd ever want to actually play the Stego, but I do like having a Stego on my team. They're actually really, really cool. And then next there is the Pinnaca, which honestly, Pinnaca might have the coolest fucking design in this entire game. Because it's like a very Gundam-y looking mech. But it has this like halo on its back that can be used for a platform for it to use its primary fire. But also, will you stop rotating? I wish I could make this stop, and I can't, and it bugs the hell out of me. But also, it can throw out the halo to put on its allies as a big old shield for them. And honestly, the thing is surprisingly tanky if it uses its support on itself. And also, Picada is one of the two support mechs, which this game does not force you to have support. While they are nice to have, they are not required to have. But even then, both the supports are actually pretty fun. I haven't played either of them in actual PvP, but they have really interesting movesets. And I honestly, I eventually plan on playing Picada at some point. God, Picada. Pinnaca, not Picada, Pinnaca. Yeah, no, Pinnaca's design, I really, really, really enjoy. It's so cool, dude. I love it a lot. Next is one that I like the design of, but I don't... currently, the gameplay does not appeal to me at all. And that's the Falcon. So, the Falcon is a very sharp and angled mech, honestly. And that's because it's supposed to, like, inherit speed, but also it transforms into a goddamn plane for extra air mobility and speed. And with that comes a very... I can see why it would appeal to other people. For me, it seems so dull and boring, honestly. It's just a hit and run strat of You fly in the air, you get close, and then you just spam a bunch of buttons while you're in the air, and it's like, it just does not seem fun, honestly. Honestly, out of all the mechs so far, Falcon is like my least favorite. Not so much in design, but at least in gameplay. It just, I don't know, it might feel different when I actually try it in PvP, but as of now, it seems so goddamn boring and unappealing to me. His actual design is pretty neat, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's hard to go wrong with a really nice angled mech. But that gameplay, though. Next, we have the fucking Barbatos of the fucking game. By that, I mean, it's pure and utter melee, no range whatsoever. The Panther. Which, according to my friend, it's apparently the noob stomper at the current moment in PvP. Basically, anyone in the lower tiers struggle to deal with the fucking Panther, and that's because in the lower tiers, everyone spreads out pretty much. Well, apparently already in the higher tiers, whatever exists, they actually stick together as a team, which makes it really hard to do what the Panther needs to do, which is line up, hold down an enemy, and just keep them there, beat them in a corner. It's the squishy killer, basically. It is the assassin of the game. But, honestly, its design as a whole, it's not bad, but it's also, like, not that interesting. Like, once again, none of these mech designs are purely unique. But this one specifically, I don't know, it's not so much that it looks really generic, it's just... Or even, it's not that it looks generic or even uninspired. I just don't get a lot of, like, strong feelings towards the designs. I think it's a very, like, neutral design for me. Nothing over the top, but nothing, that is too bad either. I do love that, with all the, like, names for all the fucking weapons that all the mechs get, the Panther's main weapon is just called Lance. It doesn't have any special name, it's just a lance. I love it. Next up we have, yeah, this is who I think it is. Wait, hold on. Is it? Let me double check. I want to make sure I'm not lying to you guys. Yeah, it's who I thought it was. Next we have the possible... what it seems to be the poster boy for Mecha Break is the Elysium. The Elysium is actually pretty cool because it's two mechs in one. It has a beefy mode and then it has a lighter mode. And it is the mech that is the generic, like the generic gameplay of the actual game itself. It has range but not good range. It has melee but not good melee. It has bulk but not good bulk. It has support but not good support. It has tank but not good tank. It does a lot of things okay, and that makes it actually a pretty good mech overall, but it, like most games, the generic character tends to be left in the dust. But I think they did a good job with the Elysium, because as I said, it's two tanks in one. It starts out as a really beefy, heavy tank, but after deleting its HP bar, it then turns into a secondary mech that's a lot lighter and faster, but loses all the bulk it had. So it technically is once again, two mechs in one. So that gives it a lot more variety in how you can choose to do it, especially since it's not just a one and done thing with its bulk mode. You actually do get a recharge cooldown for getting back your bulk mode. And I've actually seen people do some pretty nice plays with it, honestly, because you'd think they don't have it, and then they automatically pop it again, right when you, take them down. And you're like, ah, crap. And then it surprisingly makes them a lot tankier than you would expect, because, once again, 2 mechs means 2 health bars. So its survivability is actually really, really good, honestly. It's the most Gundam looking mech here, and I honestly like how that looks, because even though it's very clearly heavily inspired by Gundam, its design overall, it still looks unique enough to not just be, hey, that's just a Gundam. It's honestly really, really, really nice, and I do like the Elysium a lot. It's not my favorite, but it's still pretty high up there. I really like it. Next, we have my big boy. The first mech I decided to try in PvP, which is the Tricera. Oh my boy. He is a beefcake and a half. If the Stego is chunk, fucking my boy Tricera is fat. And honestly, his gameplay is surprisingly fun for how simple it is too. Because with Stego, his thing is supposed to be you plop down, you have a shield in front of you, and you're basically a front-facing turret that just plows things that end up getting in front of you with missiles and whatnot. The Tricera is a walking 360-degree turret with 4 Gatling cannons and 1 howitzer on its back. Its damage output for a tank is surprisingly fucking high. It's not so much able to like help take care of like or deal with other tanks, but any damage dealer that gets next to it just made the mistake of its life, because you can melt through their armor so fast. Woo! That burp snuck out on me. Woo! Sorry. Yeah, Tricera. Oh my god, dude. It's so fun to just land in a spot next to a squishy, turn on all 4 of your fucking cannons, and just melt their HP bar and watch them flee in terror and be like, oh god, no! And then you shoot them with a howitzer, and then they fall to the ground, and then you finish them off, and it's like, yes. And the thing with this thing's gameplay, what truly makes it a tank is, it'll lock itself in place, but it will gain a front and forward shields. And it also gains a healing ability. And that makes it so fucking tanky, dude. Like, you as tanky as it already seems, though the shields with the healing make it so much more so. And once again, despite being a fat boy, its damage is not lacking. He will fuck you up if you underestimate him. Do not underestimate our boy, the Tricera, because he will destroy your entire fucking life. And honestly, I think design-wise, his design fits the best of what I like. I really like boxy mechs. I love chunky mechs. I love super armored mechs. I love that design as a whole. And the Gatling cannons look so goddamn nice. And when you actually activate the howitzer, oh, it looks so satisfying. I love it. Next, Narukami. This is the first of the sniper mechs. It's a light sniper. It's also the mech that has invisibility built into it. This mech is apparently also a noob stomper. It's apparently in the higher tiers, no one plays this thing because once it fires once, everyone just fucking goes to where it fired and just annihilates the fuck out of it. It's too squishy and its survivability isn't reliable enough in higher plays, apparently. However, in the lower tiers where I am, this thing is surprisingly effective. And that's because, once again, not only does it have, like, solo invisibility, but also has clones that, if used properly, can truly make it hard to discover where it actually is, as well as it has a cloaking field that makes it, that despite revealing itself when it fires, can make it really difficult to truly locate until you get really good at finding these motherfuckers. And honestly, with her, her design is actually so, like, it's weird because Normally a design like this with so much like plates and whatnot just floating off it, I would call it noisy, but it's because it's a mech? No, it's actually appropriately designed, honestly. Like, it looks fast, it looks like it has a lot of tricks up its sleeve. I really, really like the design. Honestly, I think the only thing that bugs me is that its standard color is pink when it's a very feminine designed mech. That bugs me. That is the only thing that bugs me about this, and it's not even that big of a deal. It's just that thing of like, really? You made the female-looking mech pink? Seriously? Like, honestly, the only thing that would have made it worse is if it was a pure support. That would have made it worse, but because it's not, I'll let it slide that it's pink and girly. But honestly, there's not too much to talk about its design. Like I said, it normally would be kind of like it's a bit noisy, but for a mech, it's honestly not that bad, especially since the little extra bits aren't actually connected, so it has a lot of like space to let you breathe and admire the actual view of it. Alright, next is the actual true support of this fucking game, and I say true support as in, if you want to just go into a game and support your team, you choose the Luminian. Luminia, that's it. Luminia. You choose the Luminia. The Luminia is honestly, it's funny because Luminia looks really threatening with its two big old energy cannons. However, these aren't energy cannons. They're droid deployment units. And basically how it works is it shoots up to two drones on a single target. When you're in heal mode, because that is mode switching, when you're in heal mode, you passively heal an ally. However, when you're in damaging mode, you passively damage an enemy. And this is like a really, really nice standard support gameplay kind of thing. I think my only thing is that his design looks way more threatening than he actually is. Like, he is not threatening at all. He allows his team to be the threat a lot better, but he is not a threat at all. And he also has a energy field that will passively heal all your allies and around it. Or if you're in damaging mode, it'll damage all the enemies around it. Honestly, for the most part, he's really, really nice. And honestly, he also looks something that would belong in Zone of the Enders pretty well. Yeah, there's not much to say about him. I honestly like him a lot. I can't wait to actually try him in an actual PvP, but I feel like I'd fucking fail so fucking bad with him. But then we have our Walker, who is... If Panther is the support, if Panther is the assassin, Wrecker is the fucking juggernaut of the game. Because, oh my god, he is so beefy and he does so much melee damage. And the thing with him is, he has this really, really fucking obnoxious ability where he spawns an energy box around you. And you can't move through the box. So he basically runs up to a squishy, activates his little energy box, it just beats you in the corner of the box until you're dead. And then he waits for his cooldown, and just does it all again. And because he's tankier than Panther, he does a lot. He can do it a lot more reliably and a lot more often, too. Honestly, Walker is so fucking good. I've kind of just given him the nickname Wrecker, to be honest, because that's how much he fucking hurts. He's a good boy. He's a good buff boy. If you want to try out melee, I do recommend Panther to start off, but if you want to stick with melee, I recommend Walker, to be honest. And his design is so, like, if Tricera is square boxy bulky, Walker is round circle bulky. Like, he is so circular and round. He has so many circles on him, good lord. And it's just, he looks like he's gonna fuck you up. He looks like he's looking directly at the camera, just going, "You're gonna die." Honestly, I do enjoy his design a lot. It's, once again, relatively simple, but it does exactly what you think it would need to do. Next up is a mech that, once again, I tried all the mechs in training, but this one kind of is weird for me because I've seen it in the enemy team, but I don't truly know how it actually, like, works, and that's the Hurricane. So the Hurricane also has a very Gundam look to it. It's more like a later Gundam. Very angular and boxy, but also has, like, rounded shapes to him. And the main thing with him is that he fucks with the one of the main things in this game, which is all mechs have auto-targeting. Basically, there's a circle thing for the game. If an enemy is within range and in that circle, the game, after a short amount of time, will auto-target them. And unless they dodge, you will just hit them. However, this guy puts up shields that the auto-targeting will target if they're in front, if the shields are in front of them. So it actually makes you have to adjust to either go for a different type of style or, like, plow through his shields. Or if you're one of the snipers, there's actually an option to turn off the auto-targeting so that you can manually aim so that you don't have to worry about the shields. Of course, if you're shit at aiming, good luck with that. Yeah, Hurricane looks really, really neat. And when I see him on the enemy team, honestly, he's kind of a fucking bitch. Because, once again, he's a tank that fucks with your aiming. So, honestly, really reliable guy overall. I at some point need to actually try to play him. I haven't yet, obviously, but his design and his gameplay seem really, really good. Cool? What the fuck did he just say? Cool and good, I guess, is what I said. Next we have, wait, hold on. There's a button to show their forms. Hold on. Let me see, Falcon. Oh, no, Falcon doesn't have a button. That's dumb. Well, in case you couldn't tell, I am now on a different mech. This one is Skyrider. Skyrider is Falcon's older brother. Like, it does what Falcon does, but it's not as fast and it's way bulkier, aka it's just better. Because what it loses in speed and it actually doesn't lose any power, but gains so much extra bulk that he's way more reliable to keep around than Falcon. Which also, once again, design-wise, pretty nice. Honestly, I have nothing bad to say about the design. It's very, very, very sleek. Less angular than Falcon's, and more like a standard, like, mechs, boxy and curvy. But his gameplay is so similar to Falcon, and that makes me just not give a fuck. I do not care. Yeah, other people obviously like playing these guys because I see them all the fucking time. But I just don't give a fuck. Their designs do not appeal to me at all, dude. I don't care. I don't care at all. Or not their design, their gameplay. It seems so boring. I understand why people like it. I just don't agree with them. Alright, next we have Inferno. Inferno! I hate facing Infernos because Inferno's thing is I'm just going to click these attacks and if you get hit, that's your fault. Because they just shoot lasers goddamn fucking everywhere. Like, that is literally their fucking gimmick. And they just fire lasers goddamn everywhere. Their design honestly reminds me a lot of, which I think is just because of the color scheme. XLR8, if you remember that old cartoon show. But the actual, like, gameplay seems very, I'm just gonna sit here in this spot and beat the shit out of you until you're dead. Which is why I don't like him, because it forces me to have to like move and take cover and move around. Which, one of the main characters I play, one of two characters I've played so far, which is Tricera, which I want to be in a spot. I want to sit down and I want to fire my guns. That is what I want to do. And you are making it so I can't, and I fucking hate you. How dare you? Honestly, Inferno is actually really cool, and despite me not liking facing him, he is honestly really cool, and I do want to try him in PvP at some point. And once again, it is a very standard, like, mech scheming design. Very boxy and curvy, but not too circular, not too square either. Very, very nice, and honestly, his guns look really, really cool. Look like giant fucking plasma rails. They're cool as hell. And then finally, we have my actual main mech I've been playing throughout the whole game so far. I have most of my games on this motherfucker, which is Aquila. Aquila is a heavy sniper, which I love my fat boys, and sniping is fun. Put those together, automatic favorite. And honestly, apparently, from what my friend has seen on the Reddit, a lot of people just really like Aquila. He's possibly one of the top 3 mechs that are being played right now, if not number 4. Honestly, not only have I been playing him a lot, people seem to also queue up with him a lot, and I've seen him on the enemy team a lot. Aquila seems very, very popular because honestly, his gameplay is super simple but so fucking satisfying. Basically, how he works is he's very chunky fat mech. However, he has a flight mode where instead of becoming an airplane, he just freely hovers in the air. And basically, you'll just scope in and you'll just fire at an enemy. And that's so fucking satisfying and simple. And pretty much all he does is just he finds a spot that's secluded and you can get a good view of the world and just pew, pew, pew. That is Aquila's gameplay. It is, once again, it's simple, but it's surprisingly satisfying. And one thing, none of these mechs have ultimates, but some could argue, or some abilities that they have could argue being an ultimate. Aquila has one of those. Aquila's second or third ability basically is a weird claw thing that'll shoot out that disables the neck and drops them to the ground. And this is his primary source of defense and not harassment, but CCing. Because if a panther gets on an Aquila, they're just fucking dead unless they can activate the claw and book it the fuck out of there. Because while he's normally slow, when he's in air mode, he can actually move surprisingly fast for how fat the mech moves normally. And it's just overall, Aquila is really, really nice. The actual design of the mech isn't nothing to write home about. It's actually like relatively simple, but it's just really, really nice. It does exactly what it needs to do for letting you know what's happening with this little jet legs and all the extra little movement and mobilities on it. If anything, I would say they need to make the gun a bit more prominent, possibly, but other than that, it's a solid desk design. It does what it needs to, and it's not too exciting, but that's the point of Aquila. He's not supposed to stick out. And that is all the mech's going through. Now I can stop fighting this auto goddamn rotating bullshit. Get out of here. Alright. So now that I've talked about all the mechs, let's talk about the gameplay now. So currently there's only one available game mode, which is, well, I say one game mode. It's technically a single game mode, but there are different ways to play the game mode as a whole. So it's basically just the normal Battlefield 6v6 where you're trying to accomplish an objective. And basically how it works is everyone on your team will load up And before the game goes in, you can switch out mechs based on your team, how you feel that's going to go. You can't have doubles. You can only have one mech per on the same team. Then you'll load into a random map. There's a map that's like a weird escort thing, where basically your team have to transport this like moving platform energy thing, and there are points we have to capture advancement points to help it continue to progress. And that one is, so far, me and my friend who played it haven't had much trouble with it, because in the lower tiers we're at right now, no one understands that you're supposed to like separate. It's supposed to be like instead of being a 6v6, it's 2 3v3s going at it. It's 3 attackers and 3 defenders is how it's supposed to be. But a lot of times, the enemy team just tends to stay together at theirs, and that just allows our team to just advance the thing so far that they can't come back from it at all. Which, obviously, once more people play the game, once people get more experience, that's gonna definitely change. But honestly, it's payload. That's what it is. It's payload. That's what it is. And then another game mode is obviously capture the point, which there'll be 3 points that you have to capture. It'll start off with A becoming available after a short amount of time. And then a little bit after that, B and C will become available. And basically, it's just point capturing. You'll just want to get it so that no enemy mechs can hurt you. And then you'll just click F to secure the point. And as long as you don't get damaged, you'll capture the point, and you'll start getting points every so often for your team. I don't know what the actual variable time to get a point is for that, but capture the point, pretty standard. Next, we have this one where it's like, I don't know, it's like a delivery thing, I guess. Where basically what you have to do is both teams are waiting for these keys to spawn at one of 3 locations. When it spawns, you have to fight for your team to get the key. Once you get the key, you have to go to this certain point on the map. It's going to be the same point every time that you have to deliver it to. And you have to deliver the key to that spot. And it works as a point system. Basically, for a key is worth so many points. And while you're there on the spot, you generate those points. And that's pretty much the thing where basically you have someone who secures the keys and gets transported, and your team has to like protect them while they're doing that and don't let them die, because if they die, the key's lost and you have to wait for the next one to spawn. Is there one more? I feel like I'm missing one that I'm not. Oh, right. And then there's like this weird like it's not points or anything. It's like, I don't know how to describe it. Basically, every so often these 2 things will spawn, and what you need to do is have one of your teammates activate them without being interrupted, and you're trying to get as many points as you can until you can get a mega version of it, and then once you activate that, your team wins. And it's interesting because once again, I don't know how to describe that gameplay, and honestly, it's the most chaotic game mode because everyone needs to be trying to both prevent and help achieve getting those little important points. That game mode moves surprisingly fast for how slow it can go sometimes. And I haven't played it in PvP, but for there's a lobby maker, and you can have just bots in it. And in that, you can have a team deathmatch. Well, not so much a team, not team deathmatch. I guess no, it is team deathmatch. We're basically the teams will be released into the one of 3 areas, and it's the best of 3, where your team will fight in the 3 areas. In the first area, obviously, once your mech goes down, that's it. You have to watch for the rest of that round, and it goes on for 2 more rounds unless they win twice in a row. Then it just wins. And I've only done it once, and it was with bots. I'm not sure how much I feel about that one, but it does seem really neat. But it sucks when you start and immediately die, so you're just sitting there watching. We'll see how that goes with actual PvP. But out of the 4 game modes that I have tried, or the 4 game types I've actually played in PvP, I think my least favorite is probably the weird, like, thing we have to secure the little devices. Because that one I always feel is so sway, and it's so easy to accidentally lose track of what's happening of the resources and have the enemy team lose track of the resources and have the enemy have a free pass just getting as many as they want. I literally won a game because the enemy was fighting 20 yards away from me, and I just went, no one's around me. I'm just gonna click, 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 and then I won the game for our team because no one stopped me because no one was over here. And that's my least favorite, just because I don't know. It's not so much that I don't enjoy playing. I enjoy it the least, basically, is best I can say. Next is the weird, like, key capture the flag thing. Because on that map only, there's an environmental thing that happens where it'll disable your auto-targeting, but it also disables if you can see a mech as a friendly or ally, or friendly or enemy. And that bugs the shit out of me, because I keep shooting my allies when that fucking thing happens. And it wouldn't be so bad if it lasted like a minute, but it lasts like fucking 5, dude. It lasts so fucking long. It's annoying. And that, honestly, if that was shorter or wasn't there at all, I would probably like that game mode a lot more. My next one is definitely the payload, because honestly, it's payload. Honestly, it's a solid PvP game mode, and it's just funny because every time so far I've just slowly advanced the payload because the enemy team just doesn't try to stop me. They eventually stop me around the end of it, but at that point it's too late and they're not advancing their own fucking payload quick enough. As fun as it is, it's my second one because I haven't had a true, like, actual experience with that. Which makes my favorite one Capture the Point. Because I've actually truly experienced Capture the Point, because even with certain people, like, not properly, like, fighting me on it, or not fighting me on it, not properly securing the points on the enemy side, it's still like a fucking brawl to actually secure those fucking points. It's not just, oh, well, the enemy team wasn't paying attention to what's happening. No. People actually do go for the points, even if they're bad at it. And it's really, really fun, and it makes Aquila shine a lot. Not so much my Tricera. My Tricera isn't bad on that map, but it also isn't his favorite. Also, I have this fucking problem sometimes. Even though the game will be like, hey, dumbass, people are fighting behind you, I'll still just be sniping with Aquila, be like, oh, what lovely day. Huh? My ally's dead behind me, and there are 3 enemies there. Oh, shit. Honestly, Mecha Breaker is super, super, super fun. If you're able to, I do recommend playing it. I think at this time it's still in the beta stage, but I think they're opening it up for the weekend. If you end up watching this at that time, I recommend looking at their website to try to figure out how to get in. And if you're watching this later in the line, when it eventually actually releases, 100% recommend at least giving it a try. If you if you can stand or you actually like mechs, especially if you like mechs, give it a try. It is a really, really good game, and I could not recommend it anymore. I know there are some people who are already in the higher tiers of Mech Break that are annoyed that it doesn't have a lot of mechanical complexity, but those people can fuck right off, because this is exactly what I want as a game and how most people want a game. Because not everyone is a fucking, oh my god, I need to abuse every mechanic in this as much as possible kind of gamer. They're rarer than you would think. Even though they're always so fucking loud. But with that, I think I will bid this adieu this time. If you liked what you see, please leave a like. And if you would like to see more content, please subscribe. I do hope you have... God damn it, my burp interrupted the ending. I hope you have a very lovely day. Goodbye.